Hi everyone, and once again, welcome back to my vlog. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we're gonna talk about a really hot topic, and this is how not to care what people think or say about you. For some people, it's a no-brainer. Some people are just born natural don't cares, as we say it in Kenya. I'm a don't care, and so they don't understand why anyone even has to make a whole video about how to not care about what people think about you. But most of us care about what people think about us, and especially what people say about us, because it's just how the society has groomed us to be. Now, on our last video, when we were talking about my regrets from my 20s, I remember saying that one of my regrets was, if you haven't seen that video, check it out. One of my regrets was really worrying and caring about what people are gonna say, which really put an impediment on my dreams, right? So I thought about it and I was like, you know what? Next video, I should talk about how to not care about what people think or say. Because I always tell you, guys, I always tell y'all that every video I make on my channel is about my personal experience. I remember when I started making videos in this channel, I was talking about depression, and somebody wrote me and said, oh, you shouldn't be talking about depression because you're not in school for depression psychology, and so you do not have the experience. You're not a doctor. You shouldn't be telling people how to be depression. And I was like, nah, I could be intimidated by that, but there are things that experience is the best teacher. I don't need to go to school to learn about how to beat depression. I went through it myself and beat it myself. So what better way to teach people about a topic or something other than using your own experience, right? So one of my weaknesses was that I really cared about what people thought about me or said about me, especially in my 20s. I'm not in my 20s anymore, and thank God. Like, I miss being in my 20s because I had a lot of energy. I was skinnier. And I had a lot of time. You know, when you're in your 20s, you're like, oh my God, I got so much time to be out here, play around. I still got a lot of years ahead of me. So yeah, I do miss that aspect, but I don't miss the aspect of in my 20s thinking that it was all about appearances, keeping up with the Joneses, making everybody happy, making everybody think that I'm good, that I'm holy, because I was in a Christian environment at the time as well. So yeah, I spent a lot of days and nights grieving about what people were thinking and saying about me. And there's also this misconception in society that you have to be of a certain class for people to be able to deal with you, for you to get jobs, for you to get recommendations, for you to be able to join a church, for you to be able to join a fraternity. Reputation is key, right? And we're taught that reputation is key, and I'm not here to discount that. I'm not here to say that you should just go out there and do stupid things and have a horrible reputation. I'm not saying that, but I'm here today to give somebody relief out there. If you're one of those people, go ahead and click like, because we're about to go into 10 ways. 10. I compiled 10 ways, guys, for you, right? I did my homework. So 10 ways that you can stop worrying about what people think or say about you. Are you guys ready? Welcome.
It's been a long road. Just searching up and down, trying to find true love. So I get on my knees and pray, look to the stars above. You know what I'm saying?
Been around the world, I've been searching up and down, never found someone who can love me like you.
Say what, say
Love me like you.
Swing 'em.
So for those who do not know know me, maybe this is your first time here. My name is Lisa Kinoti. I'm originally from Kenya. I live in the USA. I love to travel. I'm an avid traveler. I am a singer-songwriter. I am a self-help junkie, which is why I like to give advice, talk about my personal experiences, and then give advice based on those experiences. And I also I'm everything. I like to do a lot of different things. It's funny because people in this world, they want you to choose one thing and say, I'm a scientist, or I'm this, or I'm that, and stick to that one thing. But if you are a subscriber to my channel, you will know. And actually, like-minded people, attract like-minded people. Like, I'm attracting like-minded people to me. So every time I see someone subscribe, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, there's a person that's like me. Because you would have to be very open-minded to be a subscriber of mine, because one minute I'm gonna post you a video where I travel somewhere and I want you to see what I'm seeing, and the next minute I'm gonna post a video about my travels, and the next minute I'm gonna post a video about my music. The next minute I'm gonna post a video wanting to give you some advice about a topic that I've learned something about. So bear with me, people. I know you're really looking forward to see where I go to next. By the way, I am planning a trip to Mexico, so hang in there. But other than that, let's get back to what we were talking about. So you may be one of those people that say, I don't care what people think or say about me. And you do your little head roll and baby, I don't care. Feeling a little dramatic today. But then you go to school tomorrow, maybe you're in high school, and there's this, every high school has a group of these rich men girls or whatever that dress in all the latest fashion, and they're the cool kids on the block, right? They're sitting in the corner pointing. And they're laughing. That's when you realize that you do care what people think about you, because you're like, do I got a booger? My nose? Am I not wearing the right clothes? And it kind of bothers you, right? Or you're at work and you find out that Sally over there, the big gossip at work, has been talking about you, saying that you're slow and you don't do a good job, and all of a sudden you care that Sally says that stuff about you and that other people think that stuff about you now, right? So yeah, we all of us have been through that. Even the person that thinks that they do not care what other people think about them has been through a situation where they found out something that somebody said about them. I remember the first time in my life, I'm going to share some personal information with you guys. Anyone who is an avid follower of mine knows that I do share some deep personal, stories about myself. Sometimes after I post a video, I'm like, I listen to my own video, I watch my own video, and I'm like, why did I say that? Now they know too much about me. No, But I like to share myself and be authentic with you guys and connect with you guys, because I know you've had the same experiences. My first time, I'm not gonna name names, but realizing that I cared about what people thought about me, I was probably 14 or a little younger, maybe 12 to 14 years old, and I had this favorite aunt, and that used to visit us a lot, and I think I did something stupid. I mean, teenagers do stupid stuff all the time, right? And my mom and my aunt didn't know at the time, but I was walking down the hallway and they were in this room in the house, and I overheard my aunt telling my mom the stupid stuff that I did, and she was like, that girl is stupid. I don't know what's going on in her head. I don't know why she would do something like that, but that was dumb. And I remember going to my room, locking the door, and crying my eyes out, because I was like, that's my favorite aunt. I thought she loved me. Why would she say something like that about me? Like, why? And it devastated me. It devastated me if I remember that years and years. I mean, years and years and years later, right? And then I remember going to high school, and no, actually, let's go back to middle school. And I remember in Kenya we call it primary school. I'm saying middle school, some in the US, but we call it primary school. And I remember I was an early bloomer, and I remember people would say stuff about me like, oh, they would call me hips, which actually at the time it was kind of a compliment if boys said it. because I was a figure 8 already at an age when girls didn't even have breasts. I had breasts and I had hips, so they would call me hips, so they would talk about my breasts and stuff like that. I was one of the first kids, if not the first kid in my class, to get a bra. So I remember going through that, and it was a confusing time for me because I wasn't sure if it was a compliment or if it was they were laughing at me. In primary school, yeah, you're a freak if you have breasts, right? But then I go to high school and you're hot if you have breasts, right? But then I remember in high school it was more like I was very conflicted in high school, and this conflict went on into my early adulthood, into my 20s. And this was me being a Christian. I loved Christ so much. I still love Jesus Christ. I still love the stories about Jesus Christ. And because Jesus Christ represented love, I'm not going into religion. For those of you who are allergic to religion, don't freak out and turn the video off. It's just I'm telling you a story. So I was always fascinated with Jesus Christ. Someone who can love anybody. Have you ever tried to love everybody, guys? That's hard. Try to love Ted Bundy, the serial killer, and then come tell me that you can do that. Then I'll call you Jesus Christ. So I really was fascinated. So I wanted to be this devout Christian, but at the same time I wanted to go out with my friends and have fun. And at the time in Kenya and in my high school, if you're a Christian, you had to be square, you had to be straight, you had to not listen to secular music, not think about boys, not do any of this stuff. On this other hand, my friends are listening to, I'm not going to tell you what songs, because then you'll be like, oh, she's so old. But the famous, R&B singers at the time, and I love those songs because I love music. So I was always really conflicted. And so in high school, they would talk about you. The Christian Union people, they would talk about you. If you were not perfect, you were not holy enough, they would talk about you. And if you were too holy, the other group would talk about you. The seculars, they would talk about you. You're too square, you're too boring, So it was like always a conflict there. So I worried about that when I was in high school. And then when I got out of high school and I started joining a lot of youth groups and getting involved in Pentecostal churches, then it got really serious, guys. I'm telling you my story so you know where this is coming from. So I'm not here preaching at you because I'm at this level where I'm here as a guru telling you how to not worry about what people think about you. No, I'm here as a human being that's been through this, telling you how to overcome that, because I overcame that. And guys, there's so much freedom in that. But back to my story. So my 18, 19 and my early 20s, I spent it trying to please people who were saved Christians in churches or organizations that I was involved in, because I was never perfect, because I wanted to have a boyfriend, because I loved secular music, because I loved R&B, because I loved to dance. So I wanted to go to the club, and then I wanted to go to church Sunday morning. So I wanted to go to the club Saturday night, and then I wanted to go to church Sunday morning. And I remember one time, actually, my friend Josephine had moved to Birmingham, Alabama, and we had joined this church, and I was leading worship in the church because I just love music. I love to sing. But then at night, like Saturday night, we would go to the Kenyan parties and house parties and clubs and stuff and have us a good old time. And then we'd go home and rest for like 2 hours. In your early 20s, you can do that. You can literally live on 2 hours of sleep and be all right. I can't do it now, but I could do it back then. And take a shower. Sometimes it even comes straight from the club. There's some people watching right now who are like, I knew it who knew me back then. But yeah, we'd come straight from the club, take a shower, straight into the church, right? And I'd be up there leading worship and stuff. And there may be some Christians watching right now going, yeah, you were wrong for that. We're not here to discuss that. I'm just telling you some true life stories. So I remember then all the ladies in the church got together, and I remember I also had a boyfriend who also went to that church. And the ladies, they talked about me, they gossiped, and then they got together and decided that they were going to sit us down, and me and my friend, and talk to us about our conduct. We weren't holy enough, good enough to lead worship in the church. So I remember they sat us down and they said, you're going to have to choose. And I'm not here to disrespect any church beliefs or anything like that. I don't know, that's a topic for another day. But I remember at the time is when I started waking up, because I was really trying so hard to fit the mold. And I remember just feeling so hurt when they were like, you're not practicing the Christian tenets. You're not good enough to be up there leading worship and stuff. And so yeah, you can't do that. And I remember I quit the church because I felt really hurt. Like, I'm not hurting anyone. I just like dancing. I just like dancing. We don't really dance in the church, so I want to go to the club and dance. What's wrong with that? I'm not hurting anybody, right? But and they also were like, you can't have a boyfriend, you can't do this, you can't do that. And I think one of the reasons that I found it really hypocritical was because I had been in churches all my life and had seen people who would say that stuff and then would be in the background, especially like youth pastors and stuff that would be in the background just doing whatever they wanted to and telling young girls that they're going to marry them and then having sex with them and then not marrying them, and then it would be a big scandal, right? So I never trusted people. I was like, look, unless Jesus himself comes down to earth, stands in front of me and tells me this is how you should behave, then you're a human being like me, you're not going to tell me what to do or whatever. But I still had this conflict within me because I forgot that the person I admired the most that made me want to be a Christian at 11 years old was Jesus, right? But I forgot that. I started wanting to please the pastor, wanting to please the deaconess, wanting to please my friend, and wanting to please all these people. So I went through years of agony because I was never good enough. And I've talked to you guys about even when I was doing my Christian album years later, when people would not really want to involve me in their church or talk to me or whatever because my album wasn't Christian enough. I wasn't mentioning Jesus enough in the album and stuff like that. And I remember having sleepless nights. I remember driving to the park and parking there and crying my eyes out because I wanted to be accepted in this community and wanted people to support me in my album release and buy my album and allow me to perform it at their church so that I could get more people to buy my album, because I really wanted to break it in as a Christian artist or whatever. But then also realizing, as I mentioned in my last video, that the reason I wanted to become a Christian artist in the first place was because I was told that was the right thing to do as a Christian. It wasn't because I felt it in my heart I wanted to be a Christian artist. I always felt it in my heart I want to be a singer, and I always felt it in my heart even right now that I want to write about things that are in my heart, whether it be Christian or not, whether it be about love, about hate, about peace, about apologies, about any topic. Pick any topic that comes to my heart that I want to write about, right? I might want to write about bread and cookies. Hey, that's what I want to write about. And being made to feel guilty because every song that I do has to be about Jesus, or else I'm not doing the right thing on this earth. I was going through that too. All right, I just opened up to you guys. I just had a moment there. Just had a rant. If this is your first time here, I'm sorry. I think maybe that was too much for you. Just pause this video, go back to my introduction video on my channel, watch all my depression videos, then you'll get to know me better. So, I know my last video someone actually unsubscribed because of things that I said on the video. So I know sometimes I shock people, but it's taken me a while to work on my authentic self, and I'm still working on my authentic self, and I know my authentic self is not going to please everybody. And we're going to talk about that today, guys. So that was my little story about the struggles that I've had. The biggest, most freeing moment of my life, and we'll talk about this a little more later, is realizing that I didn't have to please anyone. I could be myself, totally myself, and nothing was going to happen. I wasn't going to get struck by lightning. The world was not going to end. I wasn't going to die. Just realizing that. I remember hearing someone explaining this. I'm going to say this because I'm not going to take credit for it. I'm just going to say, you can look it up, about how and why we worry so much about what people think about us. Think about it. Back in the primal days, it was tribes, okay? And It wasn't like today where you can get on an airplane and you're in China or Japan or Kenya or Mexico. And then all of a sudden you can experience the Mexican culture, experience the Spanish culture, experience the Indian culture. Back then there were no airplanes, no trains, no buses, no cars. So you were in your tribe, and your tribe owned a lot of land. You know, think about it, like a city is huge. Now imagine you live in a city like Nairobi, Kenya, and there's no way to get out of the city or into the city. So all you know are the people that live in Nairobi, Kenya. And Nairobi, Kenya has rules that you have to follow to be a Nairobian. I'm just making up that name, a Nairobian. And if you don't follow those rules, what do? They excommunicate you. It's just an example I'm giving. Like, I remember one time meeting this guy that I thought had a really cool accent, and I messed up and asked him, wow, where's your accent from? Australia? And he got really mad. What do you mean Australia? My accent is not Australian. I'm Scottish, you know, or I'm English or whatever. And I remember later telling someone this story and them saying, oh my God, you messed up, Lisa. You messed up. I was like, how did I mess up? And they're like, do you not know that English people or Scottish people from that region of the world do not want to be associated with Australian people? And I was like, why? They said, because Australia is where they used to send the losers, the criminals, Australia used to be the Alcatraz of England. It just was it was on the other corner of the world. But Australia now, and you can look it up, it's a beautiful country, is with beautiful people there. But still you have people in these English countries that do not want to be associated with that, because this is better than that to them, right? And so you have your little tribe. So if you're in Australia, you have your little tribe. Or you're in Kenya, you have your little tribe. So you really don't associate with people outside of your tribe. So, but listen, back then, if you didn't follow the rules in the tribe, you got excommunicated. What does excommunicate mean? You got thrown out of the village. You get thrown out of the village in the middle of Africa somewhere, or in the middle of the Amazon somewhere. Where are you going? The jaguars are gonna get you. In America, the coyotes are gonna get you. In Africa, the lions are gonna get you. You know, you're in a Maasai tribe and you don't follow their rules, and they're like, get out of our tribe. And you go out there by yourself, and you got to protect yourself. You're away from your tribe. So probably we were used to sticking together in a tribe mentality. You did not want to be the odd one out in the tribe. You did not want to be the person that got excommunicated from the tribe. Okay, so people learned that it was dangerous to be different. It was dangerous to be the rebel. It was dangerous if people didn't like you in your tribe. It's a very real feeling. And I don't want to go too deep for some people, but a lot of times I'm going to have to do a video about this where I do go deep into this. But we are all a combination of our ancestors and their fears and thoughts and everything that happened before us. Everything that happened before us. We're a combination of those things. So we may not know where our fears are coming from. We may not know that. But we are conditioned as humans to be tribal people, group things. So we do not want to be the odd person out that everybody is pointing fingers at, laughing and talking about. And then because the next thing you think is, I'm about to be excommunicated, I'm the oddball. You know, things are about to get really serious for me right now. And this is a very long introduction, but I wanted you guys to know my story so that you know where I'm coming from with this, and to understand why, or my understanding of why we care so much what people think about us. If you're a member of a church, you don't want the people in the church to not like you, because it goes back to your primal days when you just naturally have this anxiety about people in your group not liking you. We all want to belong to something. That's why we join churches. That's why we join groups like fraternities and secret societies and stuff like that. Is because we want to be a part of something. It's very rare that you meet a human that wants to be alone. But those people are very evolved. Very evolved. Those yogis you see going in the mountains and meditating in the caves by themselves for long periods of time, they're unique. They're very evolved, and it took them years to get to that point. But I'm telling you, loneliness is a real thing. And the next video I'm going to do next week, if you stay tuned, we'll talk about loneliness and how to beat loneliness. But it's so engraved in our psyche that we should be a part of something. And so when we can't be a part of something because of how people think about us, we get scared. So I want you, the first thing that you need to know to understand why you're so afraid of what people think about you is it's in your DNA. But that doesn't mean you can't override it. It's in your operating system. But that doesn't mean that you can't override it. I'm going to teach you how to be this cool IT tech person that goes into this computer in your brain and overrides this stuff. And then you're like, wow. Because it's happened to me. I never thought that a day would come when I would make videos and not care what you guys think about the videos. I care if you like it because I want you to spread the word. I care if you subscribe because I want you to see more videos. But I don't care if you particularly think that my hair is not cool enough. You don't like locks. Oh, why she got locks? You know what? You don't think I'm pretty enough. I remember one time this girl from Kuwait told me my forehead was too big. Okay, take that up with God. He gave me my forehead. All right? You know, I don't care if you think I'm too fat. Stuff like that. Man, come on, people. And we're going to get into that. So that was a really long intro, but let's get into the juicy stuff. Right now, you know why you worry and care about what people think about you is because part of it is in your DNA. Part of it is society. It's been engraved in you by society that you should be liked. You should be likable because that's the only way you're going to get favors. You're going to get jobs. You're going to get accepted into communities and churches and all of this other stuff. But it's so primal. It's so primal because back in the day when there was no communication, no airlines, no anything, you only depended on your tribe and you did not want to be excommunicated from your tribe. We've taken that mentality and we've taken it into our communities, our schools, our churches, our everything, and we do not want to be excommunicated from our families, from all those situations. It scares us to the bone, people, but let's get to the bottom of it. You can get to the bottom of this. So disclaimer here, I know there's a lot of you that you've been following me for a while and you're really confused because maybe I started out with really soft videos and depression, all this stuff. But I'll tell you this, I'm growing and I hope you guys are growing with me. I'm growing, I'm becoming bolder, I'm becoming more authentic, I'm tapping into myself. If you're new to this, you might not know what I'm talking about, but it's taken me a while, and that's why I'm sharing this, to be able to come out and talk about topics that in the past I wouldn't have talked about because I was worried about what people who knew me were going to think about me. Oh, what happened to Lisa? Did she backslide? Did she go crazy? Now she's talking about this weird new age-ish topics and I don't even know if it's psychology. She's not even talking about Christ anymore. What is she doing? But guys, you guys have no idea. I mean, we're all born into tribes. We're all born into religions. That's why it was so important for me to do this video. We're all born. If you weren't born in a Christian country, you were born in a Muslim country or a Hindu country or even an atheist country. That's still a belief system, atheist, believe it or not. I'm an atheist, I don't believe in anything. Yes, you believe in atheism. So, but whichever society you are born into, you will be in the box of that society. If you're born in a Christian society, you will be in a Christian box. And if you do anything outside of Christianity, you will be judged, my friend. If you're born into a Muslim society, you will be in a Muslim box. And if you do anything out of Islam, you will be judged, my friend. If you're born into a Hindu society, you are in a Hindu box. And if you do anything out of Hinduism, you will be judged, my friend. I sound like I'm rapping, right? And if you're born in an atheist society, you will be in an atheist box. And if you try to believe in anything, you will be judged, my friend. So we're all in societies where there's a probability that you will do something where people will think or say negative things about you, and you will worry about it. That's why this video is so important. Can I get an amen? So let's get right into it. Number one thing you know, in order to stop worrying about what people say or think about you, you need to know yourself. You need to know yourself. This is deep, guys. How do you know yourself? Oh, Lisa, I do know myself. Do you? Do you know yourself? Who are you? Ask yourself. Close your eyes and say, who am I? And you realize you don't even know who you are. You need to know yourself. You need to put work into figuring out who you are outside of your family, society, conditionings. Who are you? Last time we talked about how to figure out what you want to do in life, not based on what your parents or anybody around you wants you to do in life, right? So what do you want to do in life? Okay, who are you? What do you love to do? What are your beliefs? Who is you? Who is your authentic self? What makes you wake up in the morning? You know, if you're born in a Christian society, you can ask yourself, who am I as a Christian? What about Christianity really resonates with me? For me, it was love. The teachings of Christ about love. Everything else was nonsense to me. All this other stuff people were talking about. I remember going to a church with my cousins where they said that we were sinning because we had jeans on, because women shouldn't wear men's clothing. That stuff is BS to me. I don't believe in all that stuff. You know, so before I knew who I was and what attracted me to Christianity, I was just going with emotions, trying to please everybody. You know, so you may be a Muslim, you may be a Hindu, you may be even an atheist. Are you an atheist because you're in a society that's atheistic and this is what they tell you? Or are you curious about religion and spirituality and you want to do research on that? And you're scared to do that because you don't want the people in your community to be angry at you. Who are you? What is your passion? What really makes you tick? Once you figure out what your passion is, guess what? That is going to help you to have this attitude that I'm gonna go after my passion regardless of what anybody thinks about me or says about me. And then you have to let go of perfection under the topic of knowing yourself. Are you perfect? Know yourself. Are you perfect? We're going to get into whether the person judging you is perfect. We all know they're not. But are you perfect? Can you ever be perfect? And see, knowing that you are not perfect will help you not to judge other people. But it also will help you not to take other people seriously when they judge you. When you realize that no human being is perfect. No human being is perfect. I repeat, no human being is perfect. Once you realize that, then you know yourself. I'm Lisa. I love singing. I love love. I love traveling. I can go down the list of things I love to do that have nothing to do with anyone. And I'm not perfect. And I'll never be perfect. So why keep trying to be perfect? Because no matter where you are in the world, you'll never please anybody. And we're going to expound more on this. You may be perfect in Kenya or America, but when you go to Iraq, you are the devil. Why? Because you are a Christian. And you may be perfect in Iraq, but if you come to America, you're the devil because you are a Muslim and you're probably a terrorist. I don't believe that, but I'm just saying what people think. You may be a Hindu, but if you go to a Christian country, you are the devil because you believe in many gods, and Christians only believe in one God. You may be an atheist, and you may be perfect in your atheistic society, but anywhere else in the world, you're the devil because you're telling people that there's no God, and there's no way there's no God. You see what I'm saying? I'm just giving scenarios. So, perfectionism is relative, people, to where you are. When you realize that, guess what? You're not going to care anymore what anybody thinks about you, because you know anywhere in the world you might go here and be perfect. I might be here, if I might be a Christian in a Christian environment and I'm doing everything Christians do, and they're all like, oh, Pastor Lisa, she's so perfect. And then I get a job in Iraq and I go there and they're like, stone the Christian, and all of a sudden I'm not perfect. See what I'm saying? So, and I'm sorry, Iraq, if anyone is watching from Iraq, these are just examples. I haven't been to Iraq, so I can't say for sure that would happen there. But I'm just giving examples of different societies. Okay, if I was a Christian in a society that hated Christians, I would not be perfect there. But in a society that loves Christians, I would be perfect there, right? You see, you get my drift. So know yourself, accept yourself, and realize that you as you are not perfect, and perfectionism is relative to where you are. Know your values, and I already mentioned this a little bit. What are your values? What do you value the most? You know, like for me, I value love. That's why I'll never sit here and tell you guys Muslims are bad, or Christians are horrible, or atheists are the devils, because my goal in life is to understand people, love people the way they are. And you know, I'm not going to support murderers and people who go around killing people because of beliefs or whatever. I don't believe in that bullshit. That's BS. Because if we all understood each other and loved each other enough to realize that we're all looking for love, we all want to be loved in this world, we all want to be accepted, we'll be more accepting and more loving towards people. So that's my value. What are your values? So when you know your values, it gives you this freedom where if you run into people who have no values and they choose to judge you and talk about you and all that, guess what? That's them. Shoot. Feel sorry for them. They have no values, you know. So number 2, believe and understand and realize that it is okay to be different and unique. When you're different and unique, people are going to talk about you. Because people are like comfort zones. I gave an example in my last video of before airplanes were ever invented, when there was somebody saying that people could fly, what's the first thing that people thought? They're either crazy or they're a wizard and they should be burned at the stake. They're a witch. I mean, why would people be able to fly? And now look, we fly all the time. I have to fly to get to Kenya to see my family. You see what I'm saying? So the unique people are the ones who invent things. They're the ones who innovate. They're the ones who change things. Martin Luther King Jr. was unique because he didn't believe that you should kill the white people. He believed that we could use love and talk and understanding to change things. And so was Nelson Mandela. It's the unique and different people in this world that change the world. But when you're unique, I will tell you, people will talk about you and they will think crazy things about you. But as soon as you are a success in that area, they will want to be your friend. People are very vain, guys. Remember that. People are very vain. If you know this, you won't take it seriously what people think and say. I'll give an example of celebrities, man. You have the paparazzi. Why do the paparazzi make money? Because people have no lives and they want to spend their lives reading about what celebrities are doing. So there's these people who make money by following Princess Diana around and Michael Jackson around and all these people around and getting the scoop on them as if you're a normal person, human, and you do normal people things like drink milk and juice and I don't know, the normal things that we do. It's so unique. If a celebrity does it, the paparazzi wants to get you a picture of Michael Jackson drinking milk, as if Michael Jackson is not a human who drinks milk. It's like a whole business has been built on this idea of gossip, capitalism on gossip, people, which is why we care about people think about us, because you go in a society where you see the gossip magazines, the tabloids, and you're like, they're talking about Janet Jackson again, oh my gosh, and then it puts that thing in you that I should be perfect so people don't talk about me like they did about Janet. I remember when Janet gained 30 pounds, they talked about her. They said she looked like a cow. I gotta make sure I don't gain 30 pounds because people will talk about me. And then you gain 10 pounds and you're like, they're talking about me. I'm a cow. Stop it, people, stop. Please, I'm sorry I yell at you guys every video I make. I say I'm not gonna yell at you guys and then I do. Nonsense. Bullshit. Stop it. It's nothing. By the end of this video, you'll realize it's all vanity and stupidity when you hear what point number 10 is. Stick around. But because of that, you think being different is wrong. Being unique is weird. And when people call you weird, you feel like, oh, I need to change something so they won't think I'm weird anymore. But everyone makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. Even if you realize that you're gonna make a mistake. I don't care if you're the president of the United States of America. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you're, I don't know, the highest authority human in this world. Everybody makes mistakes. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be unique. It's okay to make mistakes. And even the people who are judging you, if you really investigate them, and we're gonna get to this point, they made mistakes. And sometimes the people who are judging you are doing it to cover up the mistakes that they have made. See, if I can, the red herring, if I can point at somebody else and talk about them and have everybody go, oh, then they're not looking at me anymore. See? Ha ha! That's how it works. Number 3, be your authentic self. Be your authentic self. Who is your authentic self? Number 1 was know yourself. Once you know who you are, be that person. But I'm gonna promise you something. If you are your authentic self, some people are not gonna like that. Like I was giving an example of last video I put out about mistakes I made in my 20s. I got really deep and raw and somebody unsubscribed, right? Why? And it's okay, guys, if you unsubscribe, because I'm looking to attract like-minded people. So it's fine. I have no problem with that. But why did they do that? They did that because they heard something in the video that they didn't like, so they unsubscribed, right? See, when you are your authentic self, you're going to run into people who don't like your authentic self or your authenticity. Because your authenticity might say, I like soda and that's who I am. I don't care if you don't like soda. I like soda. Somebody who doesn't like soda will be like, well, why am I subscribed to your channel? I don't like soda. Now that's a very juvenile example, but it's just a simple, watered down example, right? Your authentic self might be gay, and there are people who don't like gay people, and you decide, I don't want to hide the fact that I'm gay anymore, so I'm going to be openly gay. And somebody might say, well, you can't be my friend anymore because I don't like gay people. See what I'm saying? So if you decide to be authentic, remember that there will be people who will not like that. And like when I demonstrated in the beginning that, all that is relative. So if you decide to be authentic, remember that depending on where you are in the world, or where your video goes in the world, or what kind of people you relate with, there'll always be that person that doesn't like that thing that you are as your authentic self. You might be somebody who says, I'm authentically truthful, I never lie, I always tell the truth. And you run into somebody who will be trying to get you to tell a white lie, and you won't, and they'll be like, well, you just boring, man. I mean, once in a while you gotta lie, so doesn't matter who you are authentically, you'll always run into people who will not like something about you. And you know what shocks us? Like for me, the biggest shock was, but I'm a good person. I'm trying to do good in the world. I'm trying to treat everybody well. And I would treat people who would be like, oh my God. I would meet people. I remember one time I was working at a country club, and I love to smile. If you know me personally, you'll know I love to smile because it makes me feel good, and it makes those around me feel good. And this lady came up to me that was a member at the club, older lady, kind of miserable, and she said to me, what you smiling about? What you smirking about? What you smiling about? And I was like, I don't know how to answer that question, because last time I checked, there was nothing wrong with smiling. See, people people can hate you for smiling. You see that? Do you see that? So you might sit in the corner and, I don't want anybody to hate me, so I'm going to be good. I'm going to sit in the corner. I'm not going to talk. People will be like, why are you so quiet? Why don't you talk? And then you might be like, I'm going to be the social butterfly, and I'm going to go around talking. And somebody will be like, would you shut up for a minute? So it doesn't matter what you do, people. There'll always be somebody in the crowd that's going to be like, burn the witch. I'm laughing and you're crying, but I'm just trying to tell you guys, be authentic, and realize that as you're authentic, somebody out there would like you. But one thing I've realized about being authentic is you'll be happier, because it's such a heavy burden to walk around trying to please everybody. Walking around trying to please everybody is exhausting. It's very exhausting. So be authentic self. Be authentic self. Number 4, be your best friend. Be your best friend. Because if you are your own best friend, you will not be out there looking for love and acknowledgement. You won't be out there looking for somebody to tell you how amazing you are, because you already know you're amazing. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Here's something crazy. In the morning, when you brush your teeth, before you leave the bathroom, look in the mirror and be like, yo, if you're a guy, yo, you so cool, man. Look at you. You're so cool. If you're a woman, I love you. I love you. Tell yourself, I love you so much. You're amazing. Give yourself that which, we're going to make a self-love video. Give yourself that which you crave from others. And you'll realize that it's all in you. Everything you're trying to get out there is in here. We're getting deeper now. We're getting deeper, guys. When you realize that everything you need out there is in here, you'll stop needing it from out there. So now when people say, I don't like her forehead, I don't like her hair, I don't like his walk, I don't like how she laugh. She got the chipmunk laugh. I don't like that. Why she keep laughing? You know, people will always have something to say. Always, man. But once you realize who you are and you tell yourself who you are, and then you love yourself the way you are, you give yourself that love, you know, you be your biggest cheerleader. You won't need anybody to give you affection, love, to cheerlead you, to tell you you're good. Because guess what, honey? You don't got to tell me that I'm cute. I already told myself I'm cute. I already told myself I'm good. I already told myself I'm savage. So if you tell me it's an addition, I'm like, thank you. If you don't tell me, I still know it. But if you tell me that I'm horrible, I'm like, I feel sorry for you, man, because you just hating on me because you don't like yourself. Which we're gonna get to that point. Number 5. Find like-minded people. Find like-minded people. Why is this important? Because we were talking about how you could be born into a certain community and you don't have a choice but to believe in what that society believes in. And if you don't live up to the beliefs of that society, you might be left feeling like an outcast, and you might even be outcast for real. So one of the ways to help yourself to cope with how people think about you, what people feel about you, or what people say about you, is to find like-minded people. If people are talking about you because maybe you have discovered a talent that you have, that people there are not really like interested in. I remember reading about Elon Musk when he was in South Africa, where he was born and grew up. When he was creating software and telling people about his dreams and stuff. And if you don't know who Elon Musk is, look him up. But he's a technology innovator. That's the guy that's behind Tesla right now, right? But one of the things that he was saying is how back then, before the internet became a big deal, when he moved to the US and decided to get involved in internet, his friends and everybody around him was like, you can't do it. The internet is not going to amount to anything. What is that? And now look at the internet. Now look at Elon Musk, okay? So what I'm saying is you might be around people that they talk about you because they don't understand you. They talk about you because they judge you because they think that something is wrong with you because you don't have the same mindset that they have. Then you need to find people with the mindset that you have, because you will feel better then, because it can be depressing to be in a society that looks at you as somebody that's different or somebody that's outcast, or things like that. We've talked in the past about being proactive in your life. If you're in an age where you can move to a different city, a different part of the world, do that. Okay, I'm not telling you to run away from problems or run away from a society just because people are talking about you. But what I'm saying is that finding like-minded people is going to help you to realize that there are other people out there who are like you. Like I love how in high schools you have the jocks, you have the smart kids who are the nerds, and then you have the emos, you have the goth kids, you have all kinds of different styles of kids, and they all group together like this because a kid realizes that, hey, I want to dye my hair black and put on black makeup and be gloomy all the time. All right, cool, I'm gonna hang out with those gloomy kids. And they get this sense of belonging that helps them get through high school, where if they were the only kid like that, then all the kids would be talking about them, and then they'll be feeling like alone. Can't wait to do the video about loneliness. But finding like-minded people helps you to realize that you're not alone in this world, in whatever it is that you're going through. And now with internet, somebody might be like, how am I going to find that? Come on, man. We have internet now. And with the internet, you can find groups of people who are like you. So you don't have to feel like you're stuck where you were born. Maybe you're in a village in Africa somewhere, and you're like, I don't have money to move anywhere, Lisa, so I don't know what you're talking about. I'm watching you on this cell phone, can't go anywhere. But you can find people even online, groups that talk about the things that you're interested in, and you can again, when I do these videos, I have to put the disclaimer: don't do stupid things. You believe in something that's not a good cause, don't take this video and me telling you what I'm telling you as just cause to go and join something like a terrorist group or something. That's not what this is about. This is not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm talking about is you're in a society where you feel disconnected. People are talking about you, gossiping about you. You feel alone and all that. Find like-minded people. You can find a group online and you can discuss. I remember when I was going through depression, some of those groups online helped me because I would find other people who were depressed. There was a bad side to it because then we'd all get into this victim mentality and talk about our depression all the time and all that. But also there was this camaraderie going and I felt like I wasn't alone. You see what I'm saying? So finding like-minded people does really help. Number 6, very, 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 very important. Realize why they're talking about you. Oh my God, I love this point. I've been waiting to talk about this point. Why do people gossip? Why do people talk? Why do people hate? Why are people jealous? I know you're waiting for me to tell you the big answer. Because they're miserable. You don't believe me? Let me ask you a question. Let's say you have a lot of money. You have a really nice career where you don't even work for anyone. You have your own business. And the business is doing so well. You generate a lot of income. And you've got employees. You're always busy. When you are in your career, you're always busy, which means you have no time to think about anyone or talk about anyone. But you've gotten to a point where you have so many employees that you just have time to travel. So you're like, I've always wanted to go to Bermuda. I've always wanted to go to Barbados. I've always wanted to go to Kenya. I've always wanted to go to Mexico. Let's do it, people. Do you think while you're traveling, you have time to worry about what Jane, Susie, and John are doing? No! People who are successful, people who are happy, don't have time to be jealous of anybody because they're so busy living their life, to gossip about anybody because they're so busy enjoying their lives. So if you run into people who are talking about you and gossiping about you, you should feel sorry for them. Because they're miserable, they're bored, their lives are about nothing. That's why they have time to sit around and, Lisa, you heard what Lisa been doing lately? Oh girl, she backslid. She out there just doing this and talking to this guy that's, oh my God, and she's this and that. The reason they're doing that is because they themselves don't have lives. I don't have time to gossip, people. You know why? Because I'm always thinking about school. I'm always thinking about my future. I love traveling. I'm like, I need to go to Brazil next time. How can I come up with the money to go to Brazil? I'm thinking about this. So I'm constantly thinking about that. I'm thinking about my next career. I'm thinking about my music. Like, man, I still want to make it. How can I do this? I don't have time to worry about what Jenny and Susie are doing. I ain't got time in my life. I don't even have enough time in my day. There's only 24 hours. I sleep for 8 of those. That already cuts my day short. I work for 8 of those. That's already 16 hours. What do I have left? You think I really have time to sit there and worry about who's holy enough? Who's not pleasing Jesus? Who backslid? And who's drinking and who's getting pregnant, who's sleeping with all the men. I don't have time for that nonsense. So when you, my friend, have a life, you don't have time to worry about other people's lives. Did you hear me? I always think about the example that I saw online one day of a woman standing there looking through the blinds outside at her neighbor's house looking at what they were doing, but behind her husband was cheating or something crazy was going on in the house. I can't remember the whole illustration. And it was just basically saying, while you're watching what your neighbor is doing, your life is going to hell. It's chaos. Concentrate on your house. You ever heard of the Bible saying, before you come trying to clean the speck in my eye, oh, you got a speck in your eye, go check out the log by your doorstep. We all have faults. None of us are perfect. So while you worried about what I'm doing, you should be checking out what's going on in your house. See what I'm saying? So when somebody is being mean to you, talking about you, gossiping about you, don't worry about it. Feel sorry for them, because they don't have a life. And because they don't have a life, they're making your life their life. And this word here, I don't know if any celebrities are ever going to watch my videos, but I'm going to say this. You're a celebrity and you have paparazzi following you around, so you get depressed and you want to kill yourself because they're writing these tabloids about you and they're saying this and that about you. I'm going to tell you something, honey. They're only doing that because they need to make money, because their life is miserable, and everybody that buys these tabloids' life is miserable. So they live off of your life, but you don't have to let that affect your life. Go live your life. Don't worry about what anybody thinks about you and how they're using the things that are going on in your life. You get what I'm saying? Go enjoy your life, because always remember, somebody who has time to dissect your life doesn't have a life of their own. Feel sorry for them. Number 7, sticks and stones, baby. What does that mean? I remember when I was in high school, they had this saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. Do I need to say any more about that? Why do we worry so much about words and thoughts? Thoughts don't even exist. What somebody thinking in their head has nothing to do with me. It's in their head. And their words can't hurt me. Their words can't break my bones and bruise me. Now, if they were throwing sticks and stones at me, that's a different issue. I'm going to have to figure out how to defend myself. But, baby, if all they're doing is talking about you, who cares? Who cares? Right now, as I'm sitting here making this video, someone's talking about me. Do you see anything happening around me? Are there bullets flying at me because they're talking about me? No. When they watch this video, they're going to talk about me. But I'm going to be maybe asleep when they watch it. Is what they think about me going to affect my sleep? No. One day we're going to make a video about reality. Reality is not what you think. So what you're thinking about me right now watching this has nothing to do with me. It doesn't affect me at all. Now, I could choose to let it affect me. If you write a bad comment, I got a choice. Take it personal, let it affect me, or don't. Either way, physically, it doesn't affect me. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this? Number 8, there's nothing you can do about it, so surrender. Realize, guys, that what people think and say about you, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. You can run around and try to fix things. Oh, they're talking about my hair. I'm going to fix my hair. Oh, they said my nails are horrible. I'm going to fix my nails. Oh, they said my makeup was terrible. I'm going to fix my makeup. Oh my God, they said I'm not religious enough. I'm going to be more religious. They said that you're going to spend your whole life fixing things, and your life is going to pass you by. Because you want to fix things and make yourself perfect. We said this in the beginning of the video. You'll never be perfect. Especially in this day and age of YouTube. Like me right now, I can't be perfect to everybody because somebody might be watching this from a country where just the way I'm dressed is a no-no. So they're like, oh, she needs to cover herself up. And then I might cover myself up to please that person. They might write a comment and say, you need to cover yourself up, woman. And then I might say, oh, I want my YouTube, people who watch my YouTube to like me. And this guy said that I need to cover myself up. So I'm going to cover myself up. And then I might show up in a burqa where all you see is my eyes, right? And there'll be some American guy who might come on and be like, come on, woman. I need to see more. Why are you covering yourself up? So I can't please everybody, and you can't please everybody. Get that. Get that. So surrender to that. Surrender to that and be authentic and agree that everybody's not gonna like you. And be like, okay, it's part of life. It's part of life. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. And then relief. Guys, let's do something. Let's do an exercise really quick. Just a quick exercise. I want you to close your eyes. Just close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, out. Deep breath in, out. Keep your eyes closed. One more. Deep breath in, out. And repeat this after me. I am who I am. I love who I am. Everybody will not like who I am. Some people will, some people won't. And I'm okay with that. And you can open your eyes. That's called surrender. Surrender is very important. Because when you surrender, things flow. There's no resistance. You're not over there fighting and trying to fix things and trying to make this If you're a YouTuber, that's one of the lessons I've been learning. If you try to make everybody like your page, you're going to make videos off the wall. One day you'll be a video as a Muslim woman. Next day you'll make a video as a Christian woman. Next day you'll make a video as a prostitute. The next day you'll make a video as a CIA agent. You won't know who you are. You're just going to be trying to be what other people think you are. So we said be authentic earlier, but now I'm saying surrender. Accept reality as it is. People are not always going to like you. Number 9, mind your own business. Okay? And what do I mean by that? What somebody else thinks about me is none of my business. What you think about me is none of my business. That's your business. What I think is my business. So the only business I have is what I think about myself, what I do in my life to improve my life. So don't worry about other people. That's their business. Worry about yourself. Mind your own business. Think about yourself. When I wake up in the morning, I do a meditation. I think about my life at that moment. What am I going to do today to improve my life? Not thinking about Susie, Mary, Johnny, Tom at work, how they feel about me. That's a waste of time. And you'll see it's a waste of time when we get to number 10. But what I'm thinking about is me. What can I do to improve my life so that I can improve the lives of those that I love? That's my business. What you think about me is none of my business. I don't even need to say any more about that. Number 10, everyone dies. Why is she saying this and laughing? It's not funny. Well, honey, it's reality. Everyone dies. Kings die, queens die, celebrities die, normal people die, regular people die. Everybody dies. It might be 100 years from now. It might be today. But everybody dies. What does that mean to you? Why would you worry about what somebody thinks about you who's going to die? What can they do to you when they're dead? Nothing. So what do you care? Why do you care? I remember I worked with this guy that he would say this thing that at the time was upsetting to me because I was like, that's mean. He would say, we were working at a country club, and there were a lot of old people there, and they would be complaining about the food and making a big deal about this and that. And I remember I would go in the kitchen and I'd be like, man, they're complaining about this, and he'd be like, don't worry about it, they'll be dead soon. And I'd be like, man, that's mean. Don't say that, man. But now in retrospect, I understand what he meant, right? You and everybody else, me, everybody, that's our destiny, is death. You can work hard in life and have business and do, but at the end of the day, you have an appointment with Mr. Death. So what you think about me doesn't matter, because what, you're gonna die one day? What, you gonna be in your grave still thinking about me? Or if I die, you gonna still be thinking about me? And I always like to give the story of my friend that passed away early 2020, and she was younger than me, and it really gave me perspective on that. I was heartbroken that she died. But I remember at the time I was thinking about going back to Mexico, and everybody was like, you're crazy, why you keep going to Mexico, da da da. And I remember one of my friends saying, you're really gonna go back to Mexico? And I was like, yeah, I'm going back to Mexico. I had just come from my friend's funeral. And she was like, but what about work? What about, this? What about that? And I was like, what about money? She's like, what about money and all that? And I was like, I've just come from my friend's funeral, and I realized that her life is over. And maybe there is a life after that. She's moved on, yeah. But why should I live my life in fear if that's where it's going? What's stopping me from doing anything that I want to do in this world? Now I went back to Mexico, and I'm gonna make a video about this as well. It was the best experience of my life. The best experience of my life. I put away all my fears and I went to Mexico, because I realized this girl, my friend, she was working, she was living a normal life, and then she had a blood clot in her leg and she died. So you might be afraid to go to a country that, like Mexico, has a reputation of cartels. And you tell people you're going to Mexico, they're like, don't go to Mexico, it's dangerous, You can die in your house. A tornado, like the other day, a tornado came through Alabama and hit some houses. People, a whole family in the house, gone. They're safely in their house, gone. So you're worried about people think about you? You have fears in your life, honey? You don't have to leave your house for death to come. And I'm sorry to end the video like this. I'm not trying to scare you. But what I'm saying is, remember that. These people's words won't kill you. Right? Live your life. Do you. Do you. Enjoy your life. Be yourself. And you know what? You'll be alright. You'll be alright. Enjoy your life. Live your life. Be yourself. Be authentic. Forget what anybody says about you. Forget what anybody thinks about you. A girl the other day at my job, I still work because right now in 2021, March, as I'm making this video, I'm not a millionaire yet. So I still work. I just do the videos on my days off. She actually, 2 incidences in work week, one week apart. I walk in the break room and this guy says, oh, we were just talking about you. I said, oh, good. I don't care. Everybody was surprised. A couple days ago, this girl sees me. Hey, Lisa, we were just talking about you the other day. Somebody gave me all the scoop on you. They were talking about you. I said, I don't care. She said, what? I said, you haven't heard about me? Everybody here knows. I don't care what you think. Talk about me. I don't care. I hope you enjoyed your talk. Because I've worked different places. I don't even remember the names of people at the job I worked 10 years ago. So if I spent my time worried about something they did or said about me, I don't even remember anymore. I had a supervisor one time. We would go to him and we would tell him, would be complaining about something. And I remember him saying, is it going to matter a year from now? And I was like, damn, wow. Wow. Oh, wow. That was a revelation for me. We worry about things that are not going to matter. Sometimes we worry about things that won't matter 2 days from now. But he was asking, is this going to matter a year from now? And he taught me a lesson because I ask myself that now in every situation. I get upset about something. I start talking about it. I'm getting really mad about it. And then I'm like, whoa, wait. Is this going to matter a year from now? No? Well, it doesn't matter now then. Is it going to matter 5 years from now what that person said about you? You won't even remember. You were in high school and now you're 40. Do you remember what they said about you? No. If you do, you need to go to therapy. But seriously, no, you don't. Right? So that's what I'm going to leave you with. It's not going to matter a year from now. It's not going to matter 5 years from now. It's not going to matter 10 years from now. It's not going to matter 20 years from now. It's not going to matter when you're in your grave. Or it's not going to matter when the person that talked about you is in their grave. So let it go. Don't worry about it. Mind your own business. Work on yourself. Improve your own life. Find your life purpose. Do what you're supposed to do on this earth. And enjoy your life while you do it. And don't worry about what anyone thinks or says about you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna say, if you like this video, click like, and when you click like, it's going to let other like-minded people know that we're here so that they can join us and also benefit from this video. Also, if you know somebody who's depressed or worried about what other people thinks about them, share this video with them so we can share the love and hopefully it'll help them. If you like this video so much that you would like to get more content from me, click the subscribe button. When you click the subscribe button, it'll bring bell icons and ask you if you'd like to get notifications. Click on the one that says all so that every time that I put out a video, you get the video right away. You get first dibs on the video. Also, I love comments. I love questions. So if you have comments, questions, you want to share your own experience with other people on this topic, please do so. Please share it on the bottom here so that other people can also benefit from it. Let's start a whole discussion on this topic, people. Ask me questions. Is there something that you want me to talk about on a video? I will talk about it. If you want me to give you a shout out and say this was so and so's idea or question that I would like, to talk about, do that. Let me know, guys. I hope these videos are really helpful to you guys. Like I said, this is my calling. The lessons that I've learned in life, I really want to share with you guys. Pull in and attract like-minded people, and I hope that I am pulling in and attracting like-minded people and helping somebody out there to make their life more manageable, to make their life more simple so they can have some peace, so you can have some peace, and so that you can be able to go after your dreams and be your authentic self. Did I forget anything? Like, subscribe, share. Thank you, everybody. And good day, good night, wherever you are. Ciao.